we're again with Love Speaks Volumes. Hey, y'all.
Hey, free. We're back at it, y'all.
What are we talking about? We talking about some couples, right?
Yeah, we talking about some couples.
Okay.
It's like I said, it's a couples thing. It's a love thing. It's a relationship thing.
Yes.
We really appreciate you guys joining us again.
Absolutely.
For another episode of Love Speaks Volume. Y'all know we're doing a new series called Love Over the Decades. And so we're talking to couples who are thinking about getting married, couples who are already married, newly married,
yes.
and some who just have been married a long damn time. So, we're in it. We're going to talk all relationship stuff, couple stuff, love stuff, the goods, the bads, the wills, the wants, the don'ts, the get on stuff,
Help us all out.
All of that. So we appreciate you guys coming back. We're here with our second couple. We're here with our second couple. We're going to let them introduce themselves. Tell me who you are.
First of all, I want to say, like we say, the goods, the bads, the wills, the don'ts, the won'ts. I love that. I love that.
We're going to get deep in it.
I'm Nate Holloway. This is my wife,
Kesha Holloway.
Which one you want me to go in?
We got the Holloways.
All right, okay. We're the Holloways. We call ourselves Team Holloway. And we've been married going on 11 years.
Yes, been together.
This year's been together for 12. 2 boys, 1 9. One is
almost 18 months.
Almost
19 months.
Oh, baby. Y'all in the thick of it right now.
Right, and I'm 50. Terrific twos, right.
Not worried about those threes.
Now, are they parenting y'all right now, or are y'all parenting them right now?
Oh, no, we parenting them.
Okay, that's what we here for.
Maybe with the 18-month-old, we trying.
We try. You're going to get it right. As long as you try.
Yeah. He's
running the house.
He know who he is, and he knows
exactly who he is.
Yeah, and he knows what he could do.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm waiting to see what I'm gonna have to do. If I'm gonna have to, a couple times, or if I'm gonna have to sit him down and, waiting to see how.
We're just running behind him.
Okay. Yeah. Making sure he ain't tearing up some stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Make sure the house still standing.
Right.
So
well, good. Well, we gonna jump it off. Yeah, we're gonna jump it off.
Let's go.
So tell us how you guys met.
Whew, that's a story.
Well, she saw me, and she had to have me.
Don't even.
So,
don't.
you might as well tell her. She saw me, and she's like,
She just couldn't resist.
Yeah, she couldn't resist. No, so that's how I started the story off. So
have their place.
So our story, it's a long version. I'm gonna try to condense it. Give you guys a short version. So when we met, I was a singles pastor at the church I was at, and I had just wrote book, and a friend of mine who was booking me on shows and things like that, she said, hey, CBN is looking for somebody to write articles for the relationship show they had.
And I was working at CBN.
And she was working at CBN.
Yeah.
So they gave me the number to call.
What's your book name? What's the book name?
Well, I'm rewriting it. Okay. So it was a book for singles called Let's Be Real About the Single Life.
And that was long. That was 12.
That's 12 years ago. Yeah. So I'm redoing it, rewriting it. So I'm gonna rewrite for singles. So when I wrote that, she gave me the number to call. I called. It was Kesha's number.
Yeah.
So we kind of
look how Kesha look at him like mess up if you want. Mess up if you want. You better get this right.
So this was July.
Well, let's pause there because the 700 Club was doing a series of Voice of Hope with Christy Watts, who used to be one of the co-hosts of the 700 Club. So I was helping her on the website and social media side of it. So that's how he got plugged in with me. We were doing articles and soliciting people to actually write for the show about relationship, singleness, and everything, because Christy was single and she just wanted to create a show that encouraged Christians that are trying to live holy while also being single.
Gotcha.
So she was like, send me some articles. So I sent her articles. She had the nerve to text me back and say I needed to change something in my articles.
I did.
But I changed. It was nothing big. It was nothing big. It was nothing.
It wasn't nothing bad. It was just
How I said it.
It's how you said it. I think it was about
It was about sex.
Sex before marriage.
Yeah.
And I was like, we had to kind of, that wasn't going to get published on the 700 Club website. At the time, that wasn't going to get published.
How'd you feel about that? How'd you feel about her telling you, yeah, you need to change this?
I think
you
you
know
had a
how
Steve-
like Erica Badu said, I'm sensitive about my.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
And then I believe wasn't at the time like Steve Harvey was doing relationship stuff and he had a 90-day, and I don't know if you had kind of worked that in there.
I don't think I worked it. I don't remember what it was, but it was a simple change, and I didn't mind because the article got put on the website, so I didn't have a problem with changing. So I changed it, and then I wasn't gonna say anything to her because I had a no kid rule at the time. And I was working on me.
You were stalking me on social media.
And
wait, hold. We're not just gonna blow past that. He kept telling us more about that. Don't let him keep going and you go back and comment like that. What was that about?
No. That's coming. That's coming. So I had a picture of me and my niece on social media, but that's a few months later when he was actually. I think that picture was up.
Yeah. So.
But.
Yeah,
we have to tell it in the right timing.
Okay, so after the article, we were going back and forth with articles and things like that. So they put the article on the site, so I was writing, and then I saw pictures of her on social media, and I was like, she's cute.
I was dating someone at the time.
She was dating, so that's why I didn't say anything because she was dating. So I saw a picture of her and the guy, and I saw a picture of her and her niece, and I was like, her niece looked like her at that age, and I was like,
and you had that
I had no kid rule at the time, so I didn't say anything. But then fast forward, I sent season 2. I said, hey, I sent some articles. I said, hey, you need more articles?
So who sounds like they had to have who friends?
Right.
Look now, don't we're not gonna do that, okay?
It's interesting.
So I reached out to her. So she said, send me another article. Send an article. They put an article on the site. So then she put up this picture of her. Now I'm not saying the picture is the reason why I reached out.
Too fast. Are you talking about the picture when I was on the 700?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna pause there and we're gonna go back. About 6 months before that, he was doing a panel. If we have a mutual friend, he was doing a panel bringing men in who were married, some were single, some were divorced, but it was a single men's panel. And I was supposed to be there that day, but I didn't go. I actually looked at the video of it maybe a few months later and saw Nate. I saw them all, but something was special about Nate, not knowing who he was. I didn't know it was the same guy.
Didn't I tell y'all she saw me and had to have me, right?
That's what you said. That's what you said.
That's what he said, but she also said that he was stalking her.
Yeah, something was special about him. I didn't say I wanted you.
Ooh.
That's a difference. That's a difference. Okay? Something special about that guy. I can know somebody special anywhere.
But that
She might saw the light of God, the calling on you. That might have been his specialness.
His answers were very authentic.
Okay.
And he was speaking from his personal experience. It wasn't like something he heard about or like, it was just really authentic and he was very transparent. I was like, I really like that.
So you didn't look at him at the time and said, that's going to be my boo.
No,
right
I did not. I was dating somebody.
Oh.
I was dating somebody, so I was like, something special about him. But at the same time, he's sending me articles. I know what he looks like, but in that, I don't want to say it like that, but the way it was shot, I couldn't put them both together.
Gotcha.
So he sends me the articles for the second season. In that same time, the Lord told me to end my current relationship. That was not working. There were some glaring red flags. My mom came and visited me and said, this is not the one. And she gave me some reasons why, and her reasons were valid. I was like, thank you. Like, you saw that? Okay. Then you're right. You're validating some things that I have been feeling.
How did your mom come to you? Because a lot of times when mamas come to us and tell us stuff about the people that we are in love with or in relationship with, and they say, this is not the one, we don't always receive that well.
It's the first time she said it.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
My dad, in a previous relationship, told my mom to tell me to keep looking. So here was my kind of philosophy. Even though, you may get hurt, some people are like, I get hurt, I don't, no men, no, I was never like that. I was like, well, I got hurt, what can I learn from that? Let me move, I'll move on. And there's a joke in my family, they're like, Keisha does not waste time. Like, you'll see him one day, and if it don't work out, like, she's cutting ties and she's gone. So they used to always pick on me about that. But my dad, I brought a guy home, and he was like, he'll be very clear and honest, like, that's a great guy. But it was one particular one, he said, tell my mother to tell her keep looking.
Why did your dad tell your mom to tell you?
I'm closer to my mom. So he felt like I would receive it
from her.
Yeah.
You know what? That'll preach right there. We might need to pause and just put a pin in that, because that's good.
Yeah.
If people can't receive from you, then maybe you should change the delivery or who gives the message.
That's a message for another day.
Yes.
Yeah, you're absolutely
I'm
right.
proud of her for even, the Holy Spirit leads us,
Right.
So, and sometimes they use people. And so it's great that you heed the call and you follow the instruction, because you got big days.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
It wasn't always like that. I was a typical teenager. So it wasn't always like that. My mother really cultivated a great relationship with me to trust her.
Wow.
But back to this story. So now we're all aligned in where we are. I saw him, something special about him. I broke up with the guy. 2 months later, I would be on the 700 Club Interactive show, which is the online version of the 700 Club show. I was on the show, and you get hair, makeup, dolled out. You're gorgeous. I posted some pictures on social media, and all the fellas was in my inbox. And so I was like, you're not even worried about me. You're not even worried about me.
But see, you gotta look at it. Men are appearance driven. We're appearance driven. So,
this is true.
And where I saw that, I had also saw other pictures on Facebook with her, because we just talked on email. I saw other pictures that I thought she was really nice. She was nice, but again, I had the no kid rule. I didn't know, so I didn't say anything.
So you made an assumption.
So I made an assumption, so I didn't say anything. So, but this picture, when she put, I'm not gonna lie, the picture was gorgeous. And when I saw the picture, I heard Holy Spirit say, "Ask her out."
And I told God, I am not going out on one more date until you say it's the, to go out.
Okay.
Go out, just go out with this person. I was like, you know what? No, I'm not. Now, I wasn't, saying no men. No, I'm going to be single. I knew that I still wanted to be married. I wanted a family and everything. But I was like, I was tired of not getting, I guess, when I say, hey, can you do, there were some stipulations, put it this way, that I wanted in a relationship. And
So
I would
is it
get
fair to
turned
say
down.
you were looking for a man as opposed to letting God find you the man?
I wasn't looking. I would just date.
Okay.
So you heard my dad say, keep looking. I wasn't never looking. It was somebody asked me out. I would just go out. Like, it wasn't like, God, should I go out with this person? No. If you're attractive, I'm attractive, or I like your personality, you like my personality, I would go out with you.
Do you think that's the right way to do it? Because I don't have a judgment on it, but I was just wondering.
I don't have a judgment either. Like, some people are like, no, I feel like I have to hear from God. But I feel like also, there's some people who never get married because they're sitting around and they think they're waiting for God. Like, are you really hearing from God? Or are you just being so picky? If you don't talk to people, you don't date people, if you don't, you can go out in groups. So I would go out in groups. But I never would say, like, no, unless I felt like some red flags and some warnings, didn't feel safe or anything. But I'm single, like.
And I think to that point, when it comes to dating, I firmly believe that a woman should not. The Bible says, "He that finds."
Yeah.
She should never go find.
Yeah.
But you still have to put yourself in a position to be found. So if you're not out, if you're not going out, there's going to be some times where you have to meet different people, go out and things like that, because you're going to be able to make sure your radars are aligned.
Yes.
See, me, I was a player. I'm not even going. I was that licensed minister who would bring different women to church, thinking, okay, I trying to see how I can be licensed administer and be the player. You know, until my
straddling the fence.
right
You on
and
both
my
sides.
right and my pastor at the time, every time I bring one in church, he would say, "Son, that's not the one. Son, that's not the one. Son, that's not the one." It never, none of them was ever the one. When I showed him a picture of Kesha, he was like, "Y'all gonna have some beautiful kids."
Wow.
Wow.
So and it goes to, so when we go back to it, and so after I saw the picture, I reached out and we emailed, and I said, "Hey," on Facebook, I said, "Hey, can we go to lunch?" She did something that I wasn't used to, and it kind of made me a little upset at times. She was like, but after that, she made me wait, and I wasn't used to waiting.
Yeah.
So she said to me, she said, then when she responded, she said, "Is it business or is it personal?"
Ooh.
And I said, "It's personal." She said, "Okay." Then she made me wait 3 days. I'm like looking at my
Did you
phone.
know that upset him?
No.
I'm looking at my phone and I'm like,
Because you know what I just said? I was just like, I said I wasn't going to go out with another guy until I heard from God. I never heard him say, go out with Nate.
Right.
I never, even in me going, I never heard him say, yes, do it. But I didn't have like an unrest. You know what I'm saying? I had a peace about it, and I was just like, okay, yeah.
That's how I hear when
When
I'm
you have a
at peace
peace,
with my
yeah, I had a peace
decision.
about it.
That's when I know that's what he wants me
Because-
to do. But if I'm tossing and
Right.
turning about
Yeah,
it,
I wasn't
and I'm
tossing and turning.
uneasy about it, yeah, that's God saying,
And we had talked
Whatever
that
the
whole
decision
week
is.
up until that time, so I still had some time. If something in the conversation came up that was all, I still had some time to pull out of it. But yeah,
because that Monday she said, "Yeah, we can go out," and that whole week.
Yeah.
We were on the phone till like 2, 3 o'clock in the
all
morning,
week, yeah.
talking, and the conversation was good. We went out that Friday. Her first question to me on the date was, "What's your vision for your life?"
yes, come on.
That was her first
See, that's some
question.
grown folks stuff right here. She said, I ain't playing around. You ain't got a kid.
So all those
This is-
stipulations
Yeah.
these are questions I was asking guys that couldn't clearly articulate what it was. And I was like, red flag 1. What's your financial situation? Like trash, red flag 2. Okay, so if it's trash, let's go to Financial Peace University. Oh no, I don't want to do that. At the time I liked Financial Peace. I got issues with it now, but at the time I was all about it. And then number 3, I wanted to do premarital counseling before I got married. So I wanted to get
Before you
not
got engaged.
Thank
Before
you.
you got engaged, okay.
So I wanted to hear what the guy's philosophy was on that. Well, why would we do that? Well, I feel like people get engaged, and then now you have to do the premarital counseling and all of that, and you're trying to plan a wedding. But if you do the premarital counseling while you are dating, if you're dating purposefully, you can, before you get wrapped up with, oh, I got a ring and all of this and all of the excitement,
Right.
you got that out of the way, and you know now. You have your confirmation whether it is or isn't. So I was asking those questions, and everybody was messing up.
I think what's beautiful about what you did, even though it was kind of aggravating to Nate, right, is you weren't so desperate that you were like, okay, hurry up, yeah, because the fact that you made him wait, for some people, that would have been enough of a turn off to go and buy their business.
She too much work.
She too much work,
Yeah.
right? Or the fact that you made him wait and he still held out, that tells you something about him too.
Absolutely.
Like if you say, no, this is my boundary, this is where I stand on this, he honors
Respect
that.
that. Yeah.
And I need to know why she made me wait. So that was a challenge for me too. I need to know why you made me wait, because I was Nate Holloway. Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
That's what that was my thinking back then.
Right.
Really.
Well, at least he's honest about
That was
it.
my
You know,
thinking.
he was honest about it.
You know who I am. You make me wait. So I had to know why you made me wait. And so right.
Do you know who
And that's the
this is
thing,
Kesha
and
over here.
that's what I loved about her,
Right.
because when we got together, you know, she said I talked throughout the whole movie. We went to see a movie, but
In the movie.
we got together.
I feel you on that. I do too. If it's something crazy, I will speak on it.
But it was just something about her, you know. And when she asked me that question, I appreciate, even though I could articulate what my vision was
Very clearly.
and where I was in my life at the time. Was I realized my vision for my life, but I had just lost my job.
Yep.
My credit was shot. I couldn't get a piece of paper on credit. Those things. But she saw something in me, and I couldn't get nothing in my name.
Yeah,
We first
I
got
would've been
married.
done, friend.
Yeah, and so but now the roles have switched. Not switched, but
They're equal.
They're equal,
Right.
and because she's my helpmate.
I was
And-
almost gone.
Yeah, child.
I was
I
almost
told a
a
friend I'd have been gone.
I actually, yeah,
I'd have been like,
I would that really scared me. I was like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
The thing with Nate was, if Nate was out here with no accountability, done.
Mm-hmm.
Nate had
He had a
spiritual
plan?
fathers. He had a plan.
Yeah, that makes all the
He
difference.
had people like within the first month of us dating, we actually were sitting in his church's marriage conference. They let us come the first day. I asked, even in that conference, I asked, was it a red flag? And the pastor said, it is, but I know Nate.
Wow.
So he had people vouching for
He
him.
had people vouching for him all. It was just, and then my dad was in the same position when he met my mom.
Oh, wow.
Newly divorced, credit shot. He graduated from college and everything, but I watched him flip. Well, I didn't watch it because I was a baby, but
Right.
I see the fruit of his hard work and determination, even, 40 something years later. Where you start is not where you end. And I asked the Lord to show me his heart. That's the only thing I asked for. And he showed me his heart. Not only that, showed me the community that was around him, even to the point where we didn't have a ring when we did get engaged. And some mentors of ours, I said, being honest, I feel like we just should wait until he gets settled. She said, if you guys do not have a ring by the time y'all get married, we will take ours off our fingers and give them to you. That's how much, I was like, that's how much they vouched for him.
Well, see, this is what she's saying, y'all. What she's saying is, you out here dating and you really looking for the one, get references.
Get
That's what
references.
she said. Get references. That's one. Any job, any other big decision you're making, like, get references, right? And she also said, seek God's guidance.
Right.
And be willing to listen to what he says.
Yes.
And I love that analogy. We talked about it on here before. Go ahead and write out a job description.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Write out the job
For
description.
what you want to
What
see
are
in
the
your
things
mate.
that are your have-to-haves in this other person? And what
And your
are
non-negotiables.
your preferences? Just like a job description.
Yep.
And then those questions that Kesha was
You did it.
asking, that's like an interview.
Yeah.
And I actually did that. I wrote out a confession with everything I wanted in my wife, and I had it on my wall in my apartment. Every day I said that, this, blah, blah, blah. Kesha is all of that I wrote down and more. So you can, the death and life is in the power of the tongue, the power of your words, and you have to be, I tell everybody, you have to be serious about what you want in marriage. You can't go and just marriage just for the wedding, just for the idea of it. You have to go in there.
There are some people who do that.
Yeah.
Some people who are just in love with being in a relationship or love with being in love, but aren't really, putting in the work that they need to find the person or have the person that God intends them to have. They're just so, some people are right, absolutely.
And then when
In
you're
love with being
desperate,
loved.
you do ignore the blind spots. You don't ask the right questions. You don't get the right, because you only want to. And then when he asked my dad, he came straight and told my dad exactly what the situation was with him. And I was sitting, I remember sitting out, my dad's a pastor.
That's another one.
I was
That's
sitting
another big
outside.
honesty for
Right.
you. Yeah, honesty.
I sat outside and he was asking my dad for
for
my hand
marriage.
in marriage. Told him everything. I was like, well, we'll see after this.
I told him, I said, I don't have a car.
True.
Well, I said, I have a car. I said, I don't have a job right now. I said, I don't have a ring. This is where I am in my life, but I am going to change. I'm going to take care of your daughter. I love her. I want to marry her. He looked at me. He paused for a second. It scared me. He paused for a second. Then he said, okay. Then like that.
He does not like people.
Wow.
He loves people.
That's kind
He
of a
said,
good
"I love
segue.
you."
I think we've touched on it, but my next question was for you guys, because most people want to know, how did you know he was the one? And I think, we've kind of touched on those, but what was the thing that said he's the one for you, Kesha?
It was his heart. It was the consistency of his heart.
That's
as
another
he-
one of our buzzwords, ain't it, friend? Consistency.
Now, when we first started dating, he did show up a few hours late for one of our dates, and I said, if you ever, it will not be another one. But I watched Nate and not only his interaction with me, but with his family, with his church family, and I watched the consistency of always showing up for them, and always kind of always showing up for me. That is purity of heart. That was just like, it's not always assuming best intent. It's always the best intent for him. Like, it's nothing underlined, nothing underhanded, or anything like that. What you see is what you get.
That's awesome.
It is.
It's just what you.
Now, I'm gonna pause
Yeah,
for
go
a
ahead.
minute. Nate, I want to know why you was late.
Why you would bring that up? All right, so
It was the second day, right?
it was the third.
It was the third day. Okay.
So the next question. No, all right.
That
So-
question.
Why were you late?
Why
It
were
was
you
home.
late?
Third date.
It was homecoming, and I got caught up at homecoming, Norfolk State, and
on Drumline.
it was on the Drumline, and I think we were all the alumni drummers. We were together, and I lost track of time, and I had to walk back to my car. And y'all know in the yard is you got to park like in 0 dark 30 land somewhere. So, but that's why I was late.
Oh, you had to do a
Sounds
call.
like excuses, but you got that thing straight because Kesha said,
Yes.
What?
come late one more again. And ain't gonna be
call.
another.
I was
Ain't
with
gonna
my
be another time.
girlfriend. Yeah, I was with my girlfriends, and I was like, I could have stayed with them a little longer. It's okay if you're late. Just call me and tell me.
But actually, have I been late again?
I know that right. I know that right. 'Cause
Without
she said you
calling,
wouldn't be
yeah.
sitting
Without
here if
calling,
you
without
had.
calling.
Good deal.
But see, one thing, somebody gave me a piece of advice, marital advice, and said, don't ever give a time that you're gonna be there, because she gonna hold you to that time.
Absolutely, it's
And
good advice.
I gave a time, man, but
But you can give a time. You just have to call the time.
I know.
Changes.
I know.
I just needed an hour. That's all I needed was an hour.
All right.
So why was she the
Please
one?
hurry up and get past this.
Why was she the one? What made you know at what point you was like, that's the one?
The first date.
Wow.
Okay.
So love at first sight.
For me, it was the first date. I mean, just talking to her on the phone, her character, her spirituality, the conversation we had. And then at that point for me, I was building, I was getting myself together, getting my character together. Well, my character was straight, but just getting spiritually and just getting myself ready. Because I tell single people all the time, you got to become a husband or wife in here before you become a husband or wife out here. So, and I have to get my thinking right, my heart right as a husband, my thoughts right as a husband. So when I met her, for me, it was like when we got to the mall, it was at the mall, and I called her, tell her I was on my way. She was in a store in the mall. And I said, all right, I'm coming in the mall. And she said, where are you? The elevator door opened. She walked in front of the elevator, and I was like, right here.
Wow.
You know, and for me, I'm a big romantic.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So for me, that was a sign for
Yes.
me. But I actually, how just conversing and talking, when she asked me what's my vision for my life, that showed me she was serious. And that showed me that she wanted something, and that she was
no games.
right. She wasn't playing no games, and so I knew right then and there that
Didn't
night
do anything else.
she didn't do nothing else.
Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't like that for me.
But I understand that.
I knew you could be the one.
Yeah.
At that night, I knew you could be, but you had told me some things that needed to be vet out. And that's when I said this consistency,
Right.
all the things that I asked him to do. Yeah,
He
okay,
had to
let's
get
do
Big
it.
Nate out of his system,
Yeah.
first of all.
Yeah.
That was gone. To be honest, I had already but that's because I tell guys
This Nate.
I tell guys that they want to be married, that you have to get that out of your system.
Yes, you do.
Because when you meet the one, you're not going to be able to handle it, because you're still going to be thinking about, how that's going to feel if I go to her. Oh, how does it feel? When I met Kesha, I was at the point where it was out of my system, and I was ready to be a husband. And so it didn't matter. So that's why I say I was still going out, thinking that, but not like it was. But when I don't even know when we said we were official.
I don't think we did.
Because it was just
It was just organic.
But when I met her and started going out with her, I dropped everybody.
We were in premarital counseling in 2 months.
Yeah.
Like that. Our first date was at the end of October. The marriage conference was December, and then premarital counseling. They were starting a class in January.
So
Wow.
it was really quick.
We were married
The following
2
year.
weeks before the anniversary of our first date.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So a little bit less.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it was, I believe it was God. I know it was God because we had people trying to connect us before we even met. Like her hairdresser was trying to connect us together years before we even met.
She couldn't remember his name.
She couldn't remember my name, who I was, so I took her I went to pick her up from hairdresser, and she was like, that's the guy I was trying to hook you up with years ago, before that.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready.
Wow.
That's why God didn't allow it to happen.
Right,
I don't know
absolutely.
if I was ready.
Absolutely. Well, I think, it's just going back to something you said, you was getting yourself ready. You was getting all of that stuff out of your system. And I think one of the downfalls of people who get married is the fact that they're still in that selfish mode. And they, the Bible says, the two shall become one. They're still being one, but there is no I in team. There is no I in we, right? And so for you to say, hey, I was getting that. I was getting me out of my system and ready to be we. Right?
Right.
And so, and I don't think that necessarily means that you forget who you are or that you forget being an individual. But I really just think that means is, at least for me, when I become one, is I no longer just think about me. I think about how my decisions affect you. So I'm thinking in lines of how do we proceed as of what's going to affect me. I now think about what my actions will affect we. Right?
Yeah. See, my favorite scripture when I talk to men about marriage is Ephesians 4:25. Say, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. What did Christ?
That's the other part coming to that is that submission part.
What did Christ give up for the church? His life. So as a husband, I have to be willing to give up everything for her. I have to be willing to put her needs above mine. I got to be willing to say, I don't need that. Or I have to be willing to say, my pride, if I feel like I'm right, I got to be willing to, yes, dear. Okay, babe. Let's do it.
You might be right, but what's the end goal?
Right.
We talk about this
we
like,
do.
you know what I'm saying? You might be right, but does it get you to a stronger
Right.
relationship?
Is it worth that battle worth it? If it worth that battle just to be right. My spiritual father used to say all the time, when in a marriage, if you win, you lose.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because you're one.
Right.
So if I'm trying to up one her, then I'm actually losing, because if we're one, I'm trying to up one myself.
Right.
So, but as a husband, I have to be willing to give everything for her.
Absolutely.
That means thoughts of other women, thoughts of the past, anybody that's in my life that's gonna mess up my marriage or things. I have to be willing to give up everything and put her before everything.
And I've seen it time and time again in our marriage.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's what makes a strong marriage.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we have talked about before, about how people take that particular scripture and they always just talk about the wives submitting,
part. And
wives
so I
submitting,
like
wives
that.
submitting. And we had an episode where we talked about that. Who wouldn't submit to a man who is willing to give up everything?
for you.
But they take that scripture out of context,
Everybody
though, because it
does.
doesn't mean that she's under my feet.
That's right.
It means that she's submitting to my leadership, my spiritual leadership. You gotta be ready.
And a good leader.
And show you're able
But still, it doesn't mean that she doesn't have an opinion. It doesn't mean that she doesn't have a better idea. That she can't. There's times where she leads. Certain things like.
But you would be willing to allow her to lead because you're willing to lay down your pride, lay down your past, lay down your personality, lay down your trauma. And that was another thing I was going to bring up, is because you talked about how you gave up that old person, the old man that you were, right?
Nate.
But he was Nate Holloway. Y'all better know, put some respect on his name.
Respect on my name.
He was willing
to give that up.
Give
And
that up.
that
And
means
one
a
thing
lot.
that I think a lot of
big.
people may even be wondering is, what does that look like, right? So for some people, it's just making a decision to, I'm going to be committed to Kesha, right? And I'm going to forsake all others. For some people, maybe being Nate Holloway is tied to some past hurt that they've had. And that's what causes them to be so disrespectful to women or to run women or whatever they do, right? But you also have to be willing to say, I'm vulnerable enough to work on myself and self-aware enough to work on myself to get to a place where I can be a good leader for somebody's house.
And they have to want to do it. See, here's the
Yes.
thing I learned. Anybody could change. Whatever trauma you have,
Yep.
you can change if you want to.
If you want
Because
to.
sometimes
Because they
we,
can't want it for you, though.
right, because sometimes we want to hold on to the trauma.
Yes,
Because that's a,
it benefits us.
it's a selling point. It's a back door to get out of something. You get in a relationship,
mechanism to protect themselves.
get in a relationship. And as soon as that person do something that reminds you of your past, it's a reason to get out.
It's a trigger.
So you can't. You have to want. And you said something. Make a decision. You got to make the decision to change. And when you make a decision, you stick with it. You walk it out. Eventually, those things from your past are going to leave. It may not leave right away. When you make a decision that this is what I'm going to do,
Yeah.
it'll
no
start.
longer has that control
Right,
over
and
you
you'll start to fade away from it, and you'll start getting new thoughts, new habits, new character traits, and new things like that. And that's what helps you. That's how a man, I believe, stops being a player. You know, and it's possible.
Look, that could be a whole episode right there. Just
I don't
dealing
wanna
with
be a
that.
player no more.
Go ahead.
That part.
But it's so
Yes.
true. But just that whole just surrendering, that is huge. Surrendering to God as individuals, surrendering to this relationship that we're in covenant with our spouses. That's a lot of surrendering. And if everybody will surrender, it seems to work out so much better.
You gotta drop that pride.
Just please.
That's
Drop
a
that
big
pride.
It is.
And
And be a
Soul and pride.
That's the problem with a lot of
Those
men, a lot of
big
people in
words
marriage. I
for
believe
men, yeah.
a lot of marriages stop
Fail.
working is when pride and ego come in.
Yes.
I'm willing to, if she's right or she comes home or she says something, she feels strongly about something, I am the one that would just stop and pray, Lord, what should I say? Because she knows I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna yell. I'm not gonna raise my voice. I get quiet. I talk to God. Then I come back and answer.
slow to speak.
And
Slow to speak.
in our 12 years of being together, we had maybe 3 big arguments because we have honesty sessions, and that's how I handle things.
Honesty session. What's that about?
So-
Teach us.
So honesty session is when, because it's something serious. When she say, "Babe, I need an honesty session," I know it's big.
Do you have
So-
anxiety
Huh?
when I say it?
Yes. So honesty session is where we come together when something major. It don't have to be major, something we feel strongly
Feel
about.
strongly about.
Feel strongly about.
Well, it's major if you feel strongly about.
And what happens is when we're sitting down talking, when it's her turn to talk, I can't say anything. I have
Can't
to
make an
listen.
excuse,
Can't make an
can't
excuse.
try to solution.
So when she finishes, my response cannot be in defense. It cannot be excuse. It has to be in a solution.
Wow.
So I have to listen to her when she's talking because I have to give a solution. So I can't say, well, I did that because you did it. No, I gotta be like, babe, I hear you. This is what I feel. How I feel we can handle.
And you don't have to say it right then. If he
Yeah.
go away.
Yeah, if I don't have-
So you're
Like-
listening to understand rather than listening to just
Right.
respond.
And then when it's my turn to talk, she has to do the same thing. And if we don't have a solution right then, say, babe, I don't have anything right now. Let me go and pray about it, and then we'll come back and talk about it. But the thing is, we have to come back and talk about it. We can't go 3 days. We can't go 2 days. You got to come back before we go to bed that night. we have to talk about it.
That's some good conflict resolution.
Listen, it is.
I love
And
that.
it definitely slows down an argument
Oh,
because a
my
lot of times when
gosh,
people's
yes.
emotions are high,
It's like
it just keeps going higher and higher and higher. People get flooded. They say things they don't mean, you know, but if you can slow it down like you guys are doing with these honesty sessions, y'all know what? Go get a piece of paper and a pencil and write that down. Just rewind it back. They just gave y'all some good counseling right
Conflict
there.
resolution.
I'm getting ready to go tell Walter in a
Yes.
second.
Oh,
right
yes.
after this
Oh,
is done.
yes. Yes.
Honesty.
Me too.
You gonna
Me
tell
too.
James?
Me too.
Okay, yeah.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Y'all know this is our podcast room, but this is also for my family. This
That's
is
right.
our room where I allow my kids to come in, my husband, my kids, and this is the room where you can say anything that is on your mind.
Yeah.
There is no repercussions. Long as you're honest, you're respectful, and there's no cursing. So you can come in this room. If you've done something that I know you done that you ain't admitting to, you can come in this room and you can tell us about it, and there will be no repercussions, no punishment. We will talk it through. This is the room. So it's sort of like you guys, what you're saying. But what I like is yours is geared to your relationship. Ours is geared to our family. So I'm about to steal that because me and James gonna come in this room.
Go for it.
And
Absolutely.
we gonna have some honesty sessions.
But you're teaching us what to do with our kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
They get
I
older,
love
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And it works
love it.
because that
I love
helps
that
you be
idea.
open
Yes.
and honest, because we talk about this all the time. We have a tight communication system in our marriage.
Oh my
where we
God,
communicate,
communication is
we
key.
talk about
Right.
everything. I tell
Communication
her
is key.
everything. She tells me. We talk. We don't go. We don't let anything. We feel a certain way about anything. We
Yeah,
don't
so I
let
pretty much
it
say
go.
whatever's on my mind.
Yeah.
But you know, as women we do. So I was gonna ask Nate because I'm like that. With in my relationship, I don't have a problem telling you how I feel. You know, you're gonna see it on my face,
Yep.
but you definitely gonna hear it from my voice, and I'm gonna let you know
Yeah.
how I feel about things. But my husband is not as vocal, and he is not one of those who is amped to tell you what he's feeling. He suppresses things mostly, and or he doesn't want to have the confrontation. So as a man, what is your advice to men that are in relationships as to how to be vulnerable and to how to express especially your emotions?
I was having this conversation at the barbershop with with the owner of the shop. See, as men, we're not as vocal as you got, and a lot of times we internalize things because we have to figure out how to deal with it. So, and we're not as emotional. Now, ladies, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Y'all,
Right,
please
we
don't
get it.
attack him in the comments.
We're not as
Do it, I'ma
emotional
remove it.
as women. So a lot of times we have to have an outlet. We go to our boys. You know, when we have something in, and sometimes what I've learned is that I can't say certain things to her yet because I don't know what it's going to do to her feelings. So there's certain things that I won't say because I know it's gonna either hurt
Whether
her.
it's about something I'm doing or something in general
Yeah.
that's happening with him that I may react from.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I won't say certain things until I know how to say it to her.
Okay.
And some things are not meant to say to her.
Yeah.
See, so sometimes your husband may hold stuff in, and I say something because it may be something that he knows is not need to be said, or it's not meant to say, or he knows. My best friend told me one time we got into our first argument in marriage, and I said, "Man, I said this," and he said, "Trigger word." So what do you mean? He said that trigger word triggered her response. So a lot of times, but what I would say to men out there is, know what triggers your wife. Know what's gonna set her feelings off, and then know what you can talk to her about and what you can't talk to her about. Certainly we can't talk to you guys about certain things because it's gonna do something, it's gonna change the atmosphere. So that thing I gotta go talk to my boy about and let him give me advice on it, and then I come back.
Gotcha.
So just
As
have
long as you come back, I'm
Yeah,
good with it.
yeah.
As long as you come back.
But to be honest, some things that I may be dealing with, I don't need to bring it up because it's something I need to
you're
work
dealing
in.
with yourself.
Yeah, I just need to work in it with me, and I work it, fix it, go on. There's no need. I mean,
And I do trust the people that I know you're going to.
I was getting ready to say that.
I
Good
trust,
point.
like,
Good
there's some
point.
things that Nate will tell me and I don't understand it. And it's sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I'll probably come back and challenge you on it. And you're like, honey, this is me. It's just a man thing or something. But I don't understand. Just do this, whatever. And like, no, this is something I need to deal with. And he'll go talk to his boys about, okay, fine. Talk to someone. Because obviously I can't help you. I'm trying to be sensitive. But then on the same note, I'm also like, I don't even have a frame of reference for what
Yeah.
you're talking
and there's
about.
only a couple of my boys that I talk to.
Yeah.
Because I know they're going to give me
Good
sound advice. But I did that because I had to learn that. Because it's one time I said something to her. I was complaining about something. I think it was work or something. It was something that was bothering me. And she said to me, I never heard my dad complain.
Ooh.
That right
Different
there.
time, too.
Yeah. That was early in our marriage.
Yeah, that's
but that right
Yeah.
there, it bothered me.
I bet.
I
can
bet.
imagine.
It bothered me because
I was like, ooh.
because I was like,
Don't do that.
I
folks.
came to my wife about something, but it was early, and
But it wasn't the first time. It was a series.
Yeah.
So I'm at a point, what in the world are you going to do about it? Now, I've heard my dad in action at work, but I've never heard my dad defeated over work. I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
It was a defeated, and I'm like, at this point, you have to figure something out. That's kind of how it was.
but that's when I learned, and then I got some advice from one of the mentors that everything you don't need to bring to your wife. You know, some things as a man you need to work out on your own because it helps you build as a man.
But I think one of the lessons that I caught in there was to have trusted friends.
Yes.
I've trusted
Have,
friends.
have people who are accountable and that can give good advice.
And who's not
because-
going to feed into
Right.
your stuff? Who's going?
Dysfunction.
Yeah, who's going to say, "Well, man, this is what you need to
Right.
do."
Because they probably could have said the same thing to Nate, but me saying it was something different.
Yeah.
They could have said the same thing and
Yep,
he didn't
and
receive
he
it.
would
like
have
that.
received it
Yeah.
totally different.
Or they
But
could
yeah.
have just said, look at her over there, you know.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta know who your friends
You gotta
are.
know.
And you
You
gotta
gotta know
have
that.
people who are in a position where you aspire to be. You wouldn't go and talk to
That's it.
somebody
That's it.
who is not in a relationship
Right.
or who has been in relationships that have always failed because they're screwing it up. You wouldn't want to talk to that person.
Please
you gotta
don't.
talk to the person
Look,
who
they
is
know-
in a lasting
Mekka,
relationship.
They know somebody.
Right, they do. That's still, but that's the
They got a
lesson for our
name-
viewers. I
they
mean,
got
for
a
our
name
listeners.
on their
That's
mind
the
over
We
there.
got
lesson.
a name
That's the
on our
lesson.
mind. And they
Don't
almost,
know people
they
who
try
gonna
to
screw
took
you
us
up
out.
because they
Oh,
screwed
no.
up.
They
Yeah.
tried to take our marriage out.
Yeah, so you gotta have a.
That's
you gotta
not a
have-
friend of your
No,
marriage.
not at all.
No.
So everybody that
No.
I go to, every man I go to for marital advice has been married for 15 or more years. I don't go to anybody who's been married the same amount of time I have or less. I don't really go to them.
And have they been either one marriage?
One marriage.
It's one marriage. You have one that's been a second marriage, but it's been a long time in that second marriage,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Long time in that second
I
marriage.
love
yeah.
that.
And so I don't go to
But even with that, I wouldn't necessarily place a number on it because you can be in a marriage for 15 years and
And
it's
it's
not a
trash.
healthy marriage.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
let me tell you,
You
they got a
just-
good
so-
marriage, and
yeah,
they have the
healthy
fruit.
marriage, yeah.
The fruit of their marriage is
Where
what
you
I
want to
see.
aspire to be. That's
Yeah.
who you talk to. People
Well,
that's got what you want to have.
We just
as
also
far as
know people
relationship
who've been married
goes.
3, 4.
Right.
Then it's like, wait,
Yeah,
Maybe not.
Something going on.
Right.
Yeah.
That might be great friends to hang out with, but maybe not where you want to go for counsel.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and that
Absolutely.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Absolutely.
You gonna jump into your game?
I
We have a
am.
game?
So I want you guys to grab. So
This
we're
is
gonna.
what
This is
this
the
is
fun.
for.
This is the fun part.
You better
So
know
you
me.
got- Well, I'm gonna tell you this.
I don't know
Listen,
what
with
this
our
is.
first couple, I really thought the women was gonna pull that thing out. I mean, I was like, okay, we gonna
Men
rule
won.
this game.
Womp, womp,
Okay, but right
womp.
now the men are wearing the crown, and
Okay,
so Kesha,
let's
I'm
see
gonna
what-
need you to
It's a lot of pressure.
regain that crown.
Please.
All right, fellas, I'm
Bring
gonna
it
try to
back.
hold it.
What was different about marriage what was different than what you thought of when you first got into it? Now you've been in 11 years. What has surprised
What
you
surprised
about,
you? Yeah.
about marriage?
How explicit can I say?
I can't with you.
On this podcast,
I agree with you.
right? Wait, but on this podcast, you be as explicit as you want to be.
explicit
Because
as
we
you
talk
want.
about everything in here.
Y'all ain't heard my voice yet.
Did you hear the day that we interviewed her and her husband? And we heard about fire sticks?
And fire stick and dick is what he said. So yeah, that was So
We keeps it real over here. We keeps it real.
Yeah. So what surprised you about marriage?
That we ain't doing it every night. I'm just playing.
You know, that was surprising for me. I'm not gonna lie, that was
Sex
for me.
every day.
Uh-huh.
Every day.
That's real. That is real.
That's what surprised me.
Have sex every day. You're tired. Breastfeed this one, breastfeed that one.
At least 3-4 times a week, you know.
Every day.
3-4 times a week, you know. At least
Cause he big
at
Nate.
least like on the Young and the Restless, you know. Wow.
Oh my.
Right.
It's true. It's true. That's
But
good.
yeah, I'm serious.
That's
what,
good.
That's what shocked me. It was like, you know, it was like we went.
It was, and
from
it
here
wasn't
to
marriage. It was
like-
kids, though. I feel like it was kids. Wow.
It was marriage for me. I think because we both got into it. Now we got joint bills, and now we trying to build something, and so we working. Yeah, but kids even
that makes it worse. Because people you said it. You said you're breastfeeding, you're working, you're taking care of stuff,
He's sitting there
and then all of a
wish I
sudden,
could have some of that.
right? And then you got to breastfeed
She all mad with
one.
the baby that used to be mine.
Both of them used to be mine.
I'm
you
in the
taking
bed.
everything.
I'm thinking tonight gonna be on, and he in the middle, like, one of
He'll come on.
Sleep by the
Oh
time you
shoot!
get around.
I go to the room, and I'm like, when that light go off in that room, I'm like, God.
As soon as I hit the pillow.
Listen.
Oh my God.
That's real.
That's very
That is
real.
very
That is
real.
very real.
And
so
it-
the lesson is get it in before you have kids. That's the lesson, y'all.
Or make it intentional.
Yes.
Right? And
You
find
have
that
to make it
time
intentional.
to make it intentional
Yeah.
because that could very well be his love language,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And so that has to be honored.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Let me be quiet. I got ahead of
So-
myself.
so
But
since-
it is true. And I just
Absolutely.
want everybody to keep that in mind that even though as women we do get worn out, we're trying to
That got
care
me
for
hot.
our.
How hot?
Listen, we might need to leave.
How
This
hot?
about to come a whole This become a whole nother.
But you have to understand though. One thing I learned is that in that, you can't make sex the focus of the
It cannot
marriage.
be.
Absolutely.
Because we went through a period where she was in some serious pain.
Yeah.
She was having serious pain. Well, we couldn't
Yeah.
because she was in pain.
And you honored that.
Was I? What did I get upset at times where I?
You still want.
I
You still have
yeah.
needs,
never
but
saw
yes.
that.
But I never showed her
Right.
because that was
And
my
that's so
flesh.
respectful,
That was me.
yeah.
But I knew what she was going through, so I'm like, I'm not gonna be mad. Other guys probably would have went out.
Oh, yeah.
And
Hands down.
Right.
I didn't because
You
I
honored
love
that.
her
Yeah.
and I honored it, and I knew it was gonna be a time, and I believed God.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I prayed for our marriage. I prayed for our intimacy. And I believed that it was going to be a time where it was happening.
Yeah.
And then I got to a point where I can't expect it all the time. Now I'm going to try. I'm going to flirt and try, but.
And there's nothing
So,
wrong with that too,
absolutely
because
not.
sometimes
Absolutely.
women take that as that's all you want from me, right? But you're just expressing one. I love you. I desire
This is
you.
how
I want to be
absolutely.
with you,
Love, yeah.
and that is great.
Yeah.
And being honest about the fact that
Yeah.
this is the way you receive
See
love
love,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
It doesn't mean you see your wife only as a sex object.
Yeah.
It just means that this is the way you receive love, and it's good to show her
Oh, absolutely.
that you love her
Because
and you
if
want
he
to flirt
stopped,
with her.
if he
Yeah,
stopped, I
that's a
wanted.
problem.
Where
Because
was
you're
it
like,
going?
What's going
Where
on?
did it go?
Right,
Yeah, when I was
right.
dealing with chronic pain, he kept doing it, and I would often think like, if he stops, like, what am I going to do?
Right.
But I said no. He was like, I'm just gonna stop. No, please don't stop.
And there were times where I got mad and I didn't. Like, and she could probably tell. But I walk away. I ain't say nothing. I walk away. But she said one day, she said,
Bless
I
his heart.
appreciate you for not
Oh, yeah.
stopping flirting with me.
Yeah.
My mom
That's
asked me one time,
beautiful.
"What's wrong with Nate? He got a little attitude." I said, "Mama, he just not getting none right now."
Y'all
I'm
really
sick.
close, huh?
Like I'm not
Yeah.
feeling like she's there to help
Right.
me.
Yeah.
And he kind of said, "I think it's because he's not getting none right now."
It's okay, Nate.
But that's how real we are, you know.
Right.
I think that was.
And
the
if you
time.
are experiencing chronic pain, I know your story, but
Yeah.
if you are experiencing chronic pain, I'm gonna say this in the camera. Go get checked out, y'all. Go
yes.
figure out what's going on. Figure it out. Work with your doctors
And if
until
you
you get the
have
right
issues
help.
like that where one can't perform or one can't, give in to those needs, then come talk to my friend. She's a sex therapist. And so we can tell you some other ways of how you can get that monkey off your back. So
I think you were the one that told me to schedule, to make it intentional and schedule. Yeah.
I think y'all did a podcast about it one time. 'Cause I think she maybe listened to it.
Oh, maybe that's what it was, the podcast.
It could have
Yeah.
It
been.
could have been
Could have
podcast.
been.
all right. Y'all ready?
Oh,
still hot.
she fan herself.
Y'all ready?
Okay, y'all ready?
These are fun. So the questions that I'm going to ask, you are to write down what you think about the other person, not yours. So like if I ask you 3 words that describe your mate, you are to describe him, and you're going to see how much, what he thinks about you or what you think about him and how he views you.
Okay.
So those who have the most points at the end, of course, it's going to be Kesha, because we women need to regain that crown. So here we go. 3 words that describes your mate.
I feel like we
And
need
you
some
can-
music.
Yes.
Yes,
You silly.
We're going to play some Jeopardy music.
Oh my God. All right, next page. You can.
Okay.
Oh, it's on one page. Oh,
Yeah, just one page, just one. What is one thing your mate does that makes you feel loved? So now, this is in respect to yours. You can talk about this is yourself. But
Okay.
what is one thing that Kesha does, Nate, that makes you feel loved? And same thing, Kesha,
What does he
right?
do that make me feel loved?
That makes you feel loved.
that's a lot.
Ooh.
And at the end, we'll see if you matched what you think makes her feel loved, and vice versa. Next, ready?
Mm-hmm.
You have $25,000, but you have to leave tonight. Where is she going, Nate? Where is he going, Kesha?
Oh God. Oh God.
Oh, she knew that quick.
$25,000. You have to leave
You
tonight.
have to leave tonight. Where is she going? Three words that describes your mate. Give yourself a point for each one you got right or that they got right. All
I
right.
probably shouldn't have put one, but go ahead.
Okay. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
Smart, beautiful, and sarcastic.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Am I supposed to say that's correct though?
Are those
The way
three?
he would think of me, right?
Right.
Yes, yeah, he totally would
So
say
you
that.
point for each one?
Yeah, he
Yes.
would. Yeah,
So
yeah,
those are those 3 correct for you. And so what do you? I should have done this.
I think
different.
he would
So-
say that for me. I may not say that for
for
myself.
Right.
That way.
But what
Okay,
he thinks
yes,
of you.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
So what do you think she said? What do you think? How do you think she described you? 3 words. That's what I should have
Oh,
did.
gotcha.
Oh. How would she describe
Because
me?
we want to know how your partner views you. So how do you think she would describe you?
Can it be synonyms of the word if he says it? Or it has to be exact word?
No, it could be a synonym.
Okay.
Mhm.
I put
Funny.
5.
Funny. I'm trying to think of the word. Funny. Junkie.
Oh my God.
And handsome.
Okay.
Oh.
I got it wrong. I put outgoing, energetic, which should have been the one I was saying, and love you.
That would be it.
Okay.
But it's not funny.
But I'm gonna give them to you only because it's
Yeah.
I can't even talk. Does those words or do those words define you?
Yep.
So because I didn't do it,
Gotcha.
so I'm gonna give it to you. So you get
Everybody get points. Everybody wins.
Is it 1
All right.
point or 1 point for each?
1 point for each.
Okay.
One that you got correct.
Okay.
All right. What is one thing your mate does that makes you feel loved? Kesha, what do you think he said about what the thing that you do that makes him feel loved?
Takes care of them.
Okay, what does
Him
that
and
mean?
the boys.
You gotta be probably more specific. 'Cause that can mean a lot of things.
Okay. I don't know.
You say takes care of them. What takes care
You
of?
say you always say you take good care of us. You say that a lot.
That's not my answer.
Okay, so what is the one thing that she does that makes you feel loved, Nate?
She pushes me to the next level.
Beautiful. She motivates you.
She motivates me.
I
She
can see
pushes
that.
me.
So Kesha, what is the one thing that he Nate, what do you Lord.
So I can finish because I thought we were going to say the same thing. How we take care of each other. You, especially with me having chronic sickness, you took over and took care of the boy, not complaining, and he still is doing it to this day. Like, I don't get up with our oldest and get him ready for school.
Yes.
He does. He could have still expected me to do that after I started feeling better, but no, he does it. He's like, no, you take Kate and you handle it later. I just feel like we balance each other in that, but I thought we were going to say something.
So what were you gonna say? What did you think she was gonna say about what makes her feel loved?
I thought she would say because I'm constantly telling her that I love her.
Oh,
I'm constantly telling her she's beautiful.
you do that.
Yes, Kesha.
Keep that up. Even in year 20, make sure you keep that up. All right, nobody gets any points.
Nobody.
All right, $25,000. But you have to leave tonight. Where is she going, Nate?
A beach somewhere.
Oh, I should have said it.
but
I should have said it where I'm going. Right? And make sure it was on that page.
She was. I'm sorry.
But that is true.
A beach.
A beach.
Okay.
Did he need to say a specific name of a beach?
Yeah, because there's a million beaches. So wait a
I'm a
minute. So what beach would she go to, Nate?
With $25,000, it's gonna be somewhere where the water is clear and white sand.
So give me a location. Where would she go?
Write
you
it down.
think about it.
Write it down, and then let me say it and see if we have the same thing.
Right, write it down.
Okay. All right. There's so many beaches. That's not a fair question. Because there's so many beaches.
What is her dream vacation destination or beach?
Well, dream destination. I don't think they have a beach there.
Okay.
But
it's one of them. It's not. We're not. I know where you're going.
So what do you think, Nate?
I'm gonna say Jamaica.
No, it's Johannesburg, South Africa.
They got beaches there?
It's beaches in South Africa.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Switch. So
what did I say about you? What's on this paper?
Where are you going with your $25,000, Nate? Where are you going? You got to leave
I think everybody know that.
It's San Francisco. It's a 49ers game.
Yes.
San Francisco. Okay, give yourself a point. What?
Where'd it go, Kesha?
Yes.
Okay.
He going to see. He left me with the flu to go to San Francisco. He going to see. He went to Philly. Was it Philly?
It was DC.
It was DC.
But it was the
What was that
49ers
scripture
game.
again?
Huh?
What was that scripture
So we had
again?
just got married. So
What happened in my defense?
learning.
No, in my
He
defense.
growing, friend. He growing.
No.
He's going to say that I told him to go.
She told me in my defense. I said, "Hey, babe, I will stay here with you."
He said, "You sure?" As he was walking out,
Right.
he said, "You
With-
sure?"
with his bag.
But I had somebody set up to bring her food. Had somebody set up to take care of her. And I said, I will stay. She said, no, I want you to go and enjoy yourself. I was newly
You was
married.
out that door before she could change her mind.
Look, I dropped my phone. My phone screen cracked while I was on the way. I was just like,
Everything went wrong.
I'm calling her. She got an attitude on the phone. Her mom called me and chewed me out.
I was asleep. I slept the whole
Couldn't
time.
even enjoy your
So
game.
fellas, if they say yes, it means no.
No.
Right, that's exactly right.
And no also means no.
Exactly right.
Oh my God.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
What is his favorite way to de-stress?
You got to answer.
Oh, I got to answer. What's my favorite way to distress? Oh.
Uh-oh, he got an answer.
I cannot.
What's your favorite way?
Oh my gosh, now he's about to be weird about it. Come on, Nate.
You need some Hennessy. What's
Sex.
your favorite? Sex. Okay.
I said take a nap.
Oh. No.
Is he okay while I sleep? I said take a nap.
But I don't take naps. They don't.
So that ain't.
I won't take a nap.
You are energized after you take a nap.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what he's saying is give him some.
Give him
He'll
some.
be feeling so much better with whatever that situation is.
Right before work. Great day.
Right before work.
Let's talk about that. He gets the oldest in school, I get the youngest in school, and some time in between. I get back home about to start work. He ready.
She working home.
Right before work.
He ready.
Free moment. It's like every moment we got.
Kids gone.
I don't have to share. I don't have to share. I got it all to myself.
I get both breasts today.
Yeah, I get both breasts today.
Or get adventurous. The kids out there playing, they busy, you know.
We looking out the window. Wait, hurry up, they coming.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Y'all are
that's
trip.
funny. Okay.
A glass
Keisha.
of wine.
What did you put?
Wine.
Oh, he gets the point. Oh my goodness. Listen here. Where are we on these points? Because I'm going to need you to pull this thing out,
I know.
Keisha.
1, 2, 3. I think we're tied. 4.
I got 4, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. So here it is.
Tiebreaker.
Okay.
Oh, it is.
Yes. What is your love language? Nate.
Oh. So
We've had this conversation before.
It's, so for me,
Your top love language. Number 1.
my top love language,
Yep.
gifts.
Gifts. Where'd you put Keisha?
Physical touch.
We know.
The whole time.
I forgot that was one
She
of them.
stresses him.
She called him out.
So I was like, I knew he was gonna say.
He tired of sharing with the
That
kids.
is one of them. That is one of them, but it's not the top.
What is he talking about?
I know.
I ain't married to you. I know you love
Hey.
that.
This is not next. It's words of affirmation.
I got it right. That would be the top. I forgot the what was there, but that would be
You
the
don't get
top.
You know
You said it
what?
wrong.
You know what? Just give him gifts. He said sex ain't
No,
it.
that's a
Give him
gift.
gifts.
That's a gift.
I ain't gonna deny me.
Right.
Give him them
We
gifts.
both like gifts.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a gift that keeps
So
on giving.
what is your love language, Keisha?
Quality time.
What did you put, Nate?
I put acts of service.
Okay, so we're tied. So
I know
need a
now you need a
tiebreaker.
tiebreaker question.
Okay, cool. If, write this down, she could change one thing about herself, what would it be? Nate? No, write it down.
Is it physical or is it
It
just
doesn't
anything?
matter. It could be anything. And same for you. If he could change one thing about himself, what would it be? Because we need a tiebreaker. So write your answer down, and then we'll tell.
Oh.
Write it down, Nate.
Oh.
You can't be. He
gotta think.
No, because it's a question
you
that
consulted with God. You look it up there. You consulted with God.
Talking to Jesus.
Okay, yeah, because we gotta. It's a lot of things.
Because it's a question that men gotta be careful when they answer stuff about women changing things.
No,
about
It's what
about
she
herself.
wants to change
She
about
wants,
herself.
Not what you want to
That-
change about
okay,
her.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take-
that would have
take-
been
that
a
would've been
long
bad.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all be fighting on the way home.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Nah, we wouldn't do that to you. So what do you think? The one thing, if she could pick one thing to change about herself, it could be physical. It could be doesn't have to be physical. It could be anything, and vice versa. So she would write down what the one thing you would change about yourself.
Okay.
Okay, Keisha, what is the one thing you would change about yourself?
In this season, probably my weight. Trying to get
Okay.
rid of this baby weight.
What did you say, Nate?
I say be more outgoing.
Okay.
Oh, we just talked about that last night. I wanted a hobby. I was looking for another hobby. Okay, yep.
So can I get that point? So
No.
just talk about it.
No, because that's not what I said.
Okay, what is the one thing you would change about yourself, Nate?
Oh,
He ponders so much.
because
Slow to speak.
it would be my.
He said it in the course of the discussion, but that's a hint for you.
I did. Oh.
What is the one thing you would change? Inquiring minds.
I'm
want
trying to-
know.
He's perfect. He Nate. He Nate.
He did that, girl.
I think it would be where I am as far as career. You know,
So you would want to be at a more elevated career level.
the entrepreneur.
He wants
That's
to
what
get
I want.
out.
Okay.
Entrepreneur. So
Okay. So what'd you say?
His profession.
Stop.
You said
Why
it's
the
the
man
best.
won again?
No, she
I got
the
it
point.
right.
She got the point, so she wins.
I got
She
it.
gets this answer. She
y'all,
gets
this
this
is
answer.
set up.
You were tied. You didn't guess hers, but she guessed yours. So she
Way
gets
to
the
go,
point.
Keisha.
We got the crown.
Oh.
So it's 1-1. So sweet.
Ain't that sweet?
So sweet. I like it.
Look at-
He big Nate.
Look at him rubbing his head like, hey.
This is what 11 years gets you, y'all.
I know.
Yeah.
11
This is
years of working at it,
amazing.
working out the kinks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, getting to
And
that.
we still working.
Yeah.
We said a key word.
Still working.
Yeah,
Work.
working.
Working.
Yeah, you
It's
gotta
a
put
work
in
in
the work and
progress.
you gotta keep on working.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
That's what relationships are.
Go ahead and rewind this episode.
Absolutely.
Get you a pencil and a piece of paper. Take down some notes. The
nuggets up in
Holloways
here,
gave
y'all.
us some good word
Yes,
today,
good nuggets,
y'all.
good nuggets.
It was amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Team
Team Holloway. Team Holloway.
We love it.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes,
guys.
yes, yes. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for
Yeah, it's
having me.
amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So y'all stay tuned because we will have another couple with you all, for you all.
Yes.
In this love over the decades as well.
Always remember, let's talk about it.